effects, your shield effects, and you can engage with moves like Shield Wall, which can be acted as a toggle if you're playing in tactical, or as a hold if you're playing in real time.
That's right.
Now, speaking of tactical, sorry, I'm talking a lot here, but
you are talking a lot. That's fine.
My voice is actually kind of better because of this amazing holes. Thank you, Colin.
Thank you. Are you a spokesperson for the Halls Corporation?
Am I? No, I'm not. Not at the moment, but just one day.
So I guess now you're going to go full in and do a little tactics.
We're going to go tactical. Some folks asked me, hey, can we do a little bit more of that? So obviously, tactical, top down. Nice thing that you can do is continue in the pause and play, get all the details, and see it up close.
That's a lot of archers.
So what we're dealing with here is 3 archers, and then this guy, who you probably wouldn't see if you just charged in, is our Templar Defender. Now, characters that are obscured by the terrain, as you can see, get a highlight, so you can get a good sense of who's involved in your combat. Helps if there's like a tree in the way or a piece of cover or something while you're in this mode only. And while you're here, you can pull the camera way up as well. So this gives you a little bit more of that Dragon Age Origins style height, precision, and so on. So what we'd want to do here is, first thing I'm going to try is move Cassandra, but instead of just giving her a move, because her AI would then kick in and take off, is I'm going to give her a hold. And I'm going to have her, actually I think I'll move her a little closer and have her hold. That ground marker indicates that she's going to essentially defend roughly this circle of space, and she will, if knocked out, attempt to return to that space before holding it. When the fight starts for real, I'm going to want her here, but I don't want to trigger the fight just yet.
Right.
Solus and Varric are both range characters, so again I'm going to move them and hold them. Have them move here. Notably, you'll notice the character is returning as I cycle through. It's an option. You can actually have it stay centered where it is right now if you prefer. That's all your call. And of course, on the left side, you can see it's updating to say what that character is going to do. Now, with my Inquisitor, I'm going to want to enter stealth. So I give that order. Stealth is queued. When I start time, I will do that by holding R2. This will advance time. You notice the characters are now going to follow their path points, and at any point, I can resume that pause mode. So engage, resume, give you your orders, and so on. My Inquisitor stealth, and I'm going to move up here. And what I'm going to try and do is create a field where I can try to pull this guy in with a taunt, have him and Cassandra trade blows here while I use Solus and Varric to tear down our range guys.
Seems
and ideally,
like a strategy.
Yeah, I want to send my rogue back there. All right, so let's see.
A little bit about how the stamina and mana work.
Yeah, we can. So mana regenerates over time. As you cast spells, you're using that up. Stamina is generated on rogues through attacking,
and it recharges slowly over time.
It recharges much more slowly. On warriors, it also regenerates slowly over time. So you always enter combat with full stamina and mana bars for everyone. And then on warriors, it also gets regenerated by being hit. Is that right?
No, warriors is attacking as well.
It is attacking as well. Okay.
There are some talents that when you're surrounded by guys, or as you take hits, it can regen. But it's, again, that's based on your build, not just a global thing. But globally, when attacking, they can regen their stamina. But only the basics. Obviously, using moves eats it back up.
Yeah.
So I've used Varric here. I'm going to focus on this archer and do the same thing with Solus. I actually want to show off a bit of crowd control in just a second. Cassandra, I'm going to move up here, and my rogue, you'll notice, is now dropping caltrops in stealth. So she's not going to pull down any aggro while she's here. The caltrops go on the ground. Cass moves into this position. I might want to tweak it, so you notice I'm changing my pause, reissuing the order. And then my rogue, I'm going to want to send... let's go after this guy. Now, let Solus go for a second because I've got an idea. This guy here at the back, he's kind of out of the fight. If I use my O ability, my circle key ability here, this one's called Flash Fire. It does a bit of damage, but the more important effect it has is fear.
Right.
Fear is a type of crowd control. Sleep is another, and so on. And there are stuns in the game as well. And the big difference between fear and sleep versus a stun is that fear and sleep are more in the class of what the old school EQ players or old school MMO players would call a mez.
Yeah.
It breaks on damage. Now, one thing that our AI guys have put in, which I'm really quite happy with, is that when a character is entering into a mez state, like a sleep or whatever, they'll break on damage. It means that your party members will stop attacking.
Mm-hmm. So you can actually not, you don't have to worry about your AI just popping them out of the sleep immediately.
Yeah, so what this will do is this should take them out of the fight for about 8 to 10 seconds. If I bought all the upgrades that would affect that, I can get that up to about 20. And I could have multiple mages or other characters with sleep, so you can whittle down the fight depending on how you've done your build. But by taking him out, that reduces the damage coming in, which should help. And of course, I've got Cassandra here, and what I'm going to want to do is do a challenge, which is a single target taunt, which says you and me, we're going to be fighting.
Lock the guy on the guy with the big shield.
On the guy with the big shield, in the hopes of pulling him back here to attack on this field of caltrops as it lasts. So we'll let that play out. Okay, there's my rogue. Now my rogue's not really in the best of positions right now. Of course, the rogues want to be behind. They get a huge damage bonus, as we showcased. And from doing attack, even basic flanking attacks always give you a bonus chance to crit. You can see that big 34 off there.
That's a big bonus for just position.
Now Cassandra just did, this is pretty notable, she just did what's called a payback strike. You can see her kind of at the follow through. That hit sent this Templar Defender over here where he actually smashed this crate. Real-time physics, and that sent him down. He's still taking a bit of damage from the caltrop field, and he's stunned. Now that payback strike is a timed ability where, not in the you have to press a combo, but because he had damaged her, she does more effect.
More effect with it.
So there's a good time to use it, which is whenever you want to hit a guy, and a better time to use it, which stuns them, which is, I believe the stun is actually because of an upgrade. He's taunted, so she does a stun on top of the knockout.
Right.
Making it a very effective ability. So we'll have her focus on him. Again, we're going to focus our fire here. Basic attack. We're going to do basic attack. I've also got a field of caltrops if I wanted to throw another field. With Varric. And then since this archer is nothing but a hazy memory, we're going to have our rogue move around. And again, focus fire on the same guy.
What resolution is this running on the PS4?
I imagine people can probably figure that out.
Well then. Now I got two guys clustered up here. This is a perfect time to throw down some more caltrops because archers will reposition when they're threatened, but they don't run willy-nilly because they recognize it's not the best thing they can be doing is just running. They're trying to hold this position. In fact, you can tell there's a bit of an encampment they're trying to protect. So again, I'll move my rogue behind, take advantage. And these guys are only level 4. They're going down fairly easily. And as you do play through Dragon Age Inquisition, you'll encounter some tougher enemies.
Yeah. This is not, this is basically...
These are pretty basic guys.
Yeah, this is a pretty this is more than two guys wandering through the wilderness, but still, this is a pretty basic combat.
Now, the archer, I think our rogue is more than capable of taking this archer out. So, Varric's taking a few hits from the counterfire from the archers. Again, if we had longer mezzes, we could take that out with flash fire. But a notable thing, the Templar Defender's shield will deflect attacks from the front. Cass can do a tiny bit of damage, but not very much. But his back is wide open. So that means it's a perfect time for Varric and Solus to focus fire on him so that you can see as Cass goes through, it's ticking up blocked, but as they're firing...
See it, we're doing a lot more damage.
16, 17, again, this is a very starter gear. And notice that. Our rogue characters, when on automatic control, if you're not saying, okay, I want direct control, they will try to flank. They will try to move to flank for you because if they've got abilities that give them bonuses for that, they recognize that and then respond accordingly. Because again, when you're playing in this mode, you're kind of controlling all of them, doing specific adjustments. Major advantage for me would be Solus. Hey, what if we froze that guy so he wasn't doing too much at all? Big blast. He's taken down.
169 hit points left. I think
I think we might have this one. So there we go. A fight against some level 4s with level 3s, some fairly low tier abilities, nothing too specific. Taking a few hits for sure.
Cassandra's looking pretty beat up.
She is, absolutely. And you'll notice we still have a fair number of potions left.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're out. At this point, it would be a very, very easy thing for us to refresh, return to the battle, and away we go. So we'll drop out of tactical now that we've won. Characters that are particularly hurt will refresh. You can specify, hey, don't drink all my potions.
By default, it's actually you can adjust it, but by default, it is set by role. So the tanks will tend to drink potions more to keep themselves alive. The ranged characters will run a little bit closer to the edge to try to save your potions.
Absolutely. And that's actually customizable.
That is customizable.
Also notable, you notice that the UI fades down when I'm out of combat. You don't have your portraits and stuff up. If you do want to see them at any point, you can engage with any kind of attack.
You can actually go to the options screen as well and force those on all the time.
Or off all the time if you want to play.
Or off all the time if you just want to play like this all the time.
For those curious if there's elf root in the Hinterlands.
There is, in fact, elf root.
Resolved.
Looks like some more Templars and Mages going on over here.
Another combat up here. I do actually, at this point we're a little beat up, so I'm going to make my way up to one of our camps. So we'll just skirt the edges again. When the enemies are already engaged, there's no need. Now my guys have started fighting because I think a mage took a pot shot. Supposing I don't want to stay engaged.
You want to pull them out?
I'm a leader. I'm in charge here. So I'm going to say disengage. That will cause them all to holster their weapons. They'll all come running after me as I head back in. Just like so. There we go. And that way, if you don't want to stay engaged in a fight, or if you're in the middle of it, you're going through. I know after some of the gameplay vids I went out recently about the dragon, folks are like, "Whoa, can I run away if I'm because a lot of those guys are like level 9 and going up against a 16 dragon. You can
and should
absolutely should disengage. So again, coming through. Some notable things. You notice my Inquisitor, of course, has our trademark blood spatter, but also take a look at her boots. This one's worthwhile. Take a look at her boots. Let me get a good shot of them. There we go. This is because we've been out in the field for quite a while. If we come back here again, team's a little beat up. We choose to rest. We kind of go down for the day. We come across, and as we come out of that,
someone's polished your boots
properly.
Yes.
The Inquisition strips have taken care of that for us, and we're a little bit cleaned up now.
Chief Inquisitorial boot polisher.
Yeah, because you don't want to run around with blood. You don't want to feel like you've been sleeping in someone else's blood. That's just unsanitary.
I think that's a. I think we can agree to disagree on that.
Well, that's your call. Obviously, Vista's pretty important when you have these open spaces. Where can I go? Can I go into that castle? Heck yeah. Yeah, you can, of course. Can I head over across there? In fact, Redcliffe is basically over yonder. And to give a sense of some of the scope of the world here. There's that waterfall. We'll use it as a bit of a landmark. Lovely one.
What position offers?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's collecting items for the Inquisition that are actually the requisitions tend to use the same materials you could use for crafting, that you could use for selling, to just make money. But instead, you're putting those same materials towards the
strength of your position, building your men better swords.
Yeah. So if we come back around, you can see that waterfall again. We've looped back around, and to give a sense of just the scale we're dealing with here, that is roughly what we're talking about. So if we want to make our run to Redcliffe, you can see how far we've come. This is we kind of call this the Billy Trail. If you're familiar with Family Circus, you'll recognize those maps that they always do. And this is the kind of distance you're looking at to head to Redcliffe. So. Very large zone. This is the one we talked about at E3 where it's you could put all of Dragon Age Origins
in here.
Just this playable.
And this is not our biggest area.
Nope. I get bigger than this.
It's one of our more populated areas because it is actually the closest to, it's like more farmlands and things like that. But yeah, definitely not one of our biggest.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of people here.
Yeah.
Rather large amount. Picking up some herbs.
Timbrium and a fennec.
And I'm not Cameron, so I'm not going to go slaughtering wildlife.
But fennec.
That's just it.
Don't you want a fennec stole?
I don't really.
Some ear muffs.
That sounds like blood magic, Mark. We gotta do that. All right, one last thing here. Just take a look at one of the fun things. We had a little bit of fun. The writers, of course, like building the lore for the DA world, building it up, and so. We have landmarks, so some particular areas of note. The Inquisition's power can grow by claiming these, to essentially say. We wanted to have that sense of kind of making your mark on the world throughout the game, and so, of course, planting your banners and basically saying, I was here is an important part. And those banners will actually upgrade over time.
Right.
As your Inquisition becomes more powerful, you can choose what you want on your banner and stuff, and that'll update all the ones. I guess you have a banner boy that runs around and resets them.
Fixes them.
But you notice the little pop-up of a little bit of lore there, the Saga of Tidor Brightaxe, which is one of the kind of the histories of old Ferelden.
Right.
And you can kind of collect that whole bit of lore tied to all these different landmarks. My favorite is one you find near this ancient oak tree. I think it's oak anyway, and It's speaking about the Tyr de Bridax, but it's actually a note from a wife to her husband saying, if you ever cut that tree down, I'm out. I've had it with you. So it's contextualized. And really quite cool.
It's a poetry?
It's not a poetry.
Oh.
It's not a poetry. I believe we played that card.
No.
Now, what points can we swap party members? And are you allowed to run around with less than the 4? Can you solo Inquisitor?
Oh, hey, that's a good question.
You can, and so we can actually show that once
We can.
this guy dies.
First, we will enter stealth, and then we will engage with this apparently quite hurt. He's probably been in a fight with someone else. Oh, there's that fear effect, that purple. Good indicator. That's how I knew he was feared. However, he's the only one left in the fight, so there's not a lot of fun keeping him around.
Yeah.
Aside from, I guess, Malice. Throw some caltrops down.
So,
there we go.
in terms of party switching,
Yeah, let's head back to camp.
you can do that in camp. And yes, you can run around by yourself if you so
Drift over there.
desire.
Yeah, we probably don't want to deal with them right now. Because if we lock on, you can get a sense. That's okay.
Oh,
That's a
they're level
whole
4.
block of level 4.
They're not too bad.
I could handle them, but let's focus. We got a Q&A.
Yes.
Let's focus on the A. Oh, I should disengage.
Do you actually know where you're going?
I do. Mostly where I'm going. Past that Fennec is where I'm going.
Yes. I don't think you should use Phoenix as a landmark. That's
they're slightly mobile, it's true. Oh, I almost stuck it.
so yes, if we get back to camp,
I swear we're getting there. All right, so party.
here we go. Change party.
All right, so
We don't really have anyone right now because we're right at the beginning, near the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
But right now, if we want, we could leave just with Cass and you.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll confirm that, and of course, it will remind us.
Yes, do you want to leave without a pull party? Because that would be a dangerous thing to do.
Not just leave, but venture forth, because
yes,
we know how to milk a joke.
it is
17 years, baby. All right, so at this point,
Just
Cass
Cass and I.
and I, if you want to do just the solo run, absolutely can. It's going to be tough.
Yeah.
It's going to be exceptionally tough. But it is possible. It is absolutely possible. So no need for you to take the party along.
Is there a way to turn off the blood?
It
There
is. Yeah,
is,
gore,
yes.
gore can be disabled if you don't like it.
Yeah. Someone's banging on the door.
They want in. They want to get it. They
Maybe
want
it's
to get a slice.
it's the landlord.
He's finally come to collect his due. What else we got there, Colin?
What about swimming?
No, we
Nope.
didn't pursue swimming.
No swimming. Yeah, we
Doesn't mean no for
doesn't
swimming
bring no
forever.
for swimming forever, but it actually opens up a lot of possibility problems because if you're wearing plate mail, you can't swim. It's a question for a later game.
Yeah, and I think at this point, focusing on getting jump, getting more mobility, getting the open world was our
mounts.
focus for this time. Yeah, actually mounts, of course, being able to ride your horse.
We should have really made a save with the mounts.
Oh, we don't have our mounts. Yeah, it's a bit of a hike to go get it.
It is a bit of a hike. This is actually the area you get mounts. Your mount in.
Yeah, you go recruit a horse master to the Inquisition. Well, if we have a few minutes, I could probably head over to them.
Well, you can wander over that way.
Let's go. It's past where we fought the guys at the blockade anyway.
I have no idea what that is.
So what happens when you fall down a mountain?
This.
If you do this, boom, damage. And of course, since damage doesn't instantly recover, that leaves you in a slightly worse spot. So, better would be more skirting down the sides. You notice the character kind of adjusts,
Scrabbles
and
and
scrabbles.
slides, yeah.
So you'll get that kind of effect.
Did you remember to put people back in your party?
I think it did. I did.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah. I'm on it. Mr. Darrah, sir.
Yeah.
So since you lost a bunch of health there, can you talk about ways to recover health other than potions otherwise?
There are. So there are a few talents. Warriors get them and stuff that can allow for recovery. There is a heal spell in the game which uses focus, which is not a bad thing to talk about.
Which we talked about a little bit before. Focus is something you generate in combat. Actually, we don't have any focus abilities right now, so we're not generating it.
Focus you earn later in the game.
Yeah, so it's generated in combat, and you spend it on sort of our upper tier abilities, things like.
Some people are actually asking. I saw some people on Twitter asking, like, "Hey, do I still lean and do I change my run when I'm moving along
You
ledges
do
and
that.
such?" Yeah. You notice. Oh, well, good job, Tree. yeah, you notice the character kind of slows down a bit, changes her posture when she's walking, and then if we get close to a ledge here, you can get a few leans and such. There, like that. There you go.
Basically the
I
upper.
managed to definitely skirt around that giant pack of wolves, which is nice.
The upper tier abilities from the specs are focus abilities, things like haste, which we showed at E3, and healing. There's a few, basically there's one for each of the spec trees.
Yeah, and so other ways you can heal include going into the alchemy system. So again, we're very early in the game. I checked, we don't have any unlocked, but there are potions that allow you to do regen over time instead of instant heal. Those are excellent as preparatory. They're great on your tank as well if someone's going to be taking a lot of hits, because they prevent those potions being used up. To use a potion like that, you would actually consume elf root to regen it, and then you assign those on a per character basis. There's also a grenade you can throw that creates an area that creates healing. It's like a healing mist kind of effect. And you can actually stock up a character with like full healing potions plus the grenades plus the regen, and suddenly that character is exceedingly durable. But what you're sacrificing is the ability to throw a giant patch of fire, or bees, or bees, mostly. But there's sticky grenades that can slow characters down to cluster them up for fireballing and then being, and so on.
And bees,
exactly.
I would just like to point out that it took me 3.5 hours to get to this point when I got to Hinterlands the first time. So
to actually make your way over here, there's a lot of distractions on the way.
I guess so, because you obviously knew a shorter way.
I did.
All right. Well, I think that's all we have time for today.
Oh, are we actually out of time?
Yeah, you're actually out of time.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Okay.
Well, thank you, everybody. On Monday, the 11th. No. What is the date on the Monday? Whatever the date on Monday is, we will be doing another Twitch stream, and then we will be showing mouse and keyboard controls on the PC. So if you've been desperately waiting for that, tune in on Monday for that, because we will be showing mouse keyboard if we can figure out how to do that in this room.
There's my horse.
Is your horse? You're so close to the horse! Oh my god, it's gonna cut!
And if you have any questions for the Keep, you can tune in at 4 p.m. tomorrow.
Apparently 4 p.m. tomorrow, there's a Keep.
Yeah.
There's a Keep stream.
Awesome.
Slowly driving Connell crazy with the number of streams we are now doing.
Well, they're fun. They're fun. And guys, thank you very much for watching. Remember, Dragon Age Inquisition is coming out November 18th in North America, November 21st, yes?
21st in other places.
In other places, exactly. Again, available on the PC, the PS3, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox 360. On all those platforms. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed what you've seen so far. I tried to pay attention to some of the questions you were asking after the last one, so hopefully we've got some clarity on that. And again, thanks very much for watching.
Thanks for tuning in.